He stood up and did a story with us about a month or so ago. And if you don't believe me, I'll blow you. Wait, no. I was wondering how many of the people at that table would know that one. And we were pretty knocked out by him. So we asked for him to come back. He was kind enough to show up, despite all of that incredible deluge that's going on outside. So ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage Mr. Sean Fraser.
How's everybody doing tonight? I see they fired the degenerates, so you assholes showed up. That's nice. Normally I make fun of you guys, and you're not liquored up, and now I'm not liquored up, and you are, so I have about 2 years of shit coming at me, I'm sure. So thank you. But it is good to see everybody. It's good to be in a bar. A few months ago I went to a bar. It was a pretty interesting experience. A few of my buddies and I were sitting around and said, hey, we want to go drinking. Where do you want to go? And my buddy says, you know, well, my dad's at the VFW. Let's go see that. I got pretty cheap drinks. I said, oh, that's fine. Sit over there. So we get there, and it's 3 of my other buddies. 2 of them, they aren't veterans, and myself and my other buddy were. And the 2 non-vets, they walk in first, and I'd like to call them scooters. A little crusty vet, Vietnam, run up to the door. He says, how you doing? Fine, how are you doing? You boys veterans. Do I want to be a vet? I'm not sure. The first 2 say, yeah, well, we're just here to drink with my dad. And so he goes, oh, well, get the hell out of the way, you're blocking the damn door. I said, all right. So they get out of the way, and me and my buddy walk up, and he goes, are you boys veterans? And I said, yes. And he goes, well, do I got a deal for you? I said, oh, I bet you do. This should be good. Candy deep down on the back seat of the trunk, you fucking weirdo. So we're sitting there, and he goes, real quick, I got 2 questions for you, real simple. 1, you boys ever been to war? So, well, yeah, I did 2 tours to Iraq. He goes, okay, stop. I got a 2nd question for you right now. I go, yeah. He goes, you boys ever been to a foreign war? I said, well, the last time I checked, Iraq's in the Middle East, and the Civil War ended in 1860. Fuck it, you know, we're drunk. Yeah, one of them was overseas, fuck it. Shit, that's good enough, get on in here, we're going to get time. So, all right, so we walk in there. Well, apparently, at the VFW, for this gentleman, get on in here means don't fucking move. Because I went, don't stop, okay? I didn't even get in the door. For 20 minutes, I watched 2 of my buddies over there drinking like 50-cent beers, well, me and my other buddy were reliving like the worst day of our life. It's like boot camp, getting hazed all over again. And he walks up, he goes, real quick, you got $35 on you? I said, well, $35 get me out of this, because I'll give you 35. He said, no, for $35, I get you a year membership to the VFW and a sticker. Sticker, fuck yeah. So I said, all right, well, I don't have $35 on me right now. And he goes, hold on, I ain't done now, son. For $425, I'll get you a lifetime membership, I'll get you a sticker, 10% off everything on the website, and I will let you come in here whenever you want. Membership transfers wherever you want. I said, well, I hope so, it's a lifetime membership, okay. So I said, well, I don't have my checkbook on me, so, because I'm not like 90, so I don't fucking know what you want me to do. He goes, hold on, I ain't done, don't interrupt me, I'm a veteran. I said, I am too, so that didn't work. And he looks at me and goes, for $1,200, I got the deal of a lifetime. I said, $1,200, okay, well, fuck it, you ain't gonna let me in, you might as well tell me what you got. He goes, for $1,200, I'll get you a lifetime membership. I'll get you a sticker. I'll get you 10% off the website. Your dues will never change. Free food, free drink. You can fuck my granddaughter. I said, what? Where's the ATM at? He said, oh, there. I said, let's go. I'll give you my pin code. Come on. Yeah. And my wife's at home watching. I love you. Don't kick me out. Don't lock me out. I love you. So she's not gonna like that one. So, but it was a cool place. I don't know if you've ever been to the VFW. They got really cool guys in there. I met a World War II vet, which is pretty awesome. Got to talk to him for a while. And speaking of World War II vets and the Nazis they fought, I gotta tell you right now, we have a problem in America. Homegrown terrorism. Okay? You're saying, Sean, where is it? I don't see it. I said, I know, because they're in your front yard, right in front of you. Where are they? A little group called Boy Scouts of America. You think I'm bullshitting you, right? In my neighborhood, there's a sign somewhere that says, terrorize the fuck out of Sean's house, because they just fucking in and out and dang, 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 dang. They never stop, right? And it is literally like, this is how the only way to explain it. It is like Europe in like the early 1940s. They are just fucking taking over. There is no stopping. Everyone's getting wasted. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I call the vans mom vans. I call them tanks. And the kids are Nazis. And the moms are like, get out. The kids jump out. Knock on the door. Hey, 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 popcorn. Fuck you, get out. That's what I said. So I'm not bullshitting. This one little kid, he was walking, right? Walking up the street all by himself. That's the first mistake. You don't have a popcorn sale by yourself. Coming up all by himself. This mom goes up in her tank, gets out, these kids jump. One kid, bang over the other one, fucking pops him right in the leg. There's a turf war of popcorn sales in my neighborhood. A fucking turf war. I can't look that up. I saw it with my eyes. I'm scared to eat popcorn because I don't know who the kingpin is. I don't know who's coming after me anymore. I switched to rice cakes. I don't know anymore. So, you know, this one little fucker, he comes to my door, right? Most of them, see, I like fucking with him, okay? Anybody that knows me knows I like fuck with little people. Eve, hi. I love fuck with little people, okay? Anybody I can mess with, it's a good time, right? This is how it usually happens at my house. I look out the window, oh, fuck it. And I like mess with it, open the door, I say, Halloween's in 2 weeks, bitch! And I just shut the door in their face. That's what I say. Don't come to my house in a costume 2 weeks for Halloween, you ain't sandbagging, get all the good shit, get out. That's what I tell him. I told him that. Well, this one kid, he must have been scoping me out because he's a Nazi. And I knock on the door, knocks on the door, open it up. I go, Halloween's in 2 weeks, bitch! That's what I get. Palms my door, LeBron status. Palms my front door. You want to buy some popcorn? Okay, yeah, sure, fuck yeah. I don't know. He goes, you want to buy some popcorn? I go, well, what do you got? I don't really have any money on me. He goes, well, don't you like Boy Scouts? I go, do you want me to answer that? That sounds kind of back down. He goes, well, don't you want to support us? We have prizes. I go, fuck prizes. Life sucks, man. You ain't getting a prize. He goes, well, don't you want to help us out? I go, well, not really. I can't do anything. He goes, okay, I'll be back in an hour to collect. Okay. Honey, get the keys. We're going to the store. So me and my wife, we leave to go to the store, you know. Go to the store, it's nice, it's quiet. It's a nice Monday afternoon, Nazi-free, it's wonderful. I do all my shopping and I get done, come out. Guess who has the checkpoint at the front? Yep. Checking who's gotten the Boy Scout popcorn. Highlander does over there. There can be only one Highlander, and he's the popcorn Highlander. He's, oh wow, look what we got here. I said, oh shit, here we go. And I'm holding, of course, there's popcorn in my bag because I'm large and in charge and I like popcorn. And he goes, well, I see we found the piggy bank. I said, oh shit. He goes, well, I guess you're gonna just sit there, lie to my face, huh? I go, well, you're at my house, my rules. He goes, I don't care. I go, all right, well, what do you got? Let's see what you got. He goes, well, I got 3 different kinds today. I said, okay. He goes, well, the first one is $20. I go, yep, you're overshot it. I wouldn't even spend that much on my wife's anniversary gift. You're fucking So he goes, okay, well, what do I get for $20? He goes, you get 3 popcorns, different flavors, cheese. I go, that's gay, you know what? And he goes, okay, what's the next one? He goes, well, you have popcorn and then you have chocolate, cheese, and caramel. I said, well, how much is that? He goes, 30. I go, how big is it? He goes, oh, it's smaller than the first one. I go, that don't make any sense. How does that work? I go, what's the last one? He goes, oh, this one's $50. I go, what do I get for $50? He goes, I'm just guessing and assuming by your large eating stature that you are going to like this for $50. And I go, okay, what is it? He goes, I don't know. I couldn't taste it. My mom said it was too expensive to open. I go, what the fuck? Okay, this is why nobody buys it. So the mom starts getting mad at me, right? And she goes, well, what's wrong with you? I go, you kids are terrorizing my neighborhood. It's like a bunch of Nazis. She goes, my son's not a Nazi. So I can prove it. She goes, no, you can't. I can't. I go, all right, here we go. I go, when your son goes door to door, is he trying to throw things at people and make them do what they don't want to do? Yeah. That's Poland. She goes, okay, when all that money they make, what do they do with that money? Well, they give it to the Boy Scouts. And does it get redistributed to everyone equally, regardless of how they did? Yeah, that's socialist. Nazi. Your son's a Nazi. She goes, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I go, yes, it does. And then I go, this is uniform. Does other kids look at his uniform and want to have it because it's cool? Yeah. And I did the same thing. She goes, oh my God. I go, and she goes, well, my son's never killed anyone. I said, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? She goes, yeah, my son's an angel. I said, your son's running around, beating up other kids, hustling tins of fat and sugar to my front door, and I'm defenseless against fat and sugar. Your son he's contributing to the obesity crisis in America. He's probably got 6 dead bodies alone on his head. She goes, oh my God, you're right, I'm so sorry. I'm going to take him out. I said, yeah, you're welcome. And you guys are welcome, because from now on, that's one less little asshole banging on your door on Saturday.
Thanks, appreciate it.
You need to start doing that during shift briefing.
You know, I like that set, first of all, because it's entertaining, and second of all, because I don't have to follow it. Barry, on the other hand, the best part is that if I was going to pick somebody in this lineup that could actually follow that, as I dig him a nice big hole, Barry Dunn would be the man. Okay, you over here all know, you all know. Okay, so pretty much everybody here knows Barry Dunn. He kind of got up on stage because we were needing to fill like about a 5-minute hole in the show. He then took 15 minutes, and then we immediately said, by the way, that was your audition, you're in the group, have a nice day. And he went, what? Come here. And he put up with it quite nicely. Barry and I have known each other for a couple of years. I don't know how long you've known him. But he's always been pretty much a stand-up guy, one of my favorite people, and I'm really looking forward to whatever sort of madness he's bringing to this stage. So ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Mr. Barry Dunn.
I'm looking at you.
Oh, fuck me. I have to follow that. And, you know, I've talked to people before. A lot of people that know me I'm into mixed martial arts, and I have a lot of friends who are in the UFC, and I always say, what's the hardest fight that you gotta, not fight.
That's a different story.
That's a way different story.
Depending on your diet, they could be the same thing.
No kidding. What's usually the hardest fight for you? Is it a championship fight? Is it a title fight? And they're like, no, it's when you fight in your hometown because people know you. You know, you're walking to the ring and you see the dude that, you know, beat you up in 5th grade, and now you're going to a cage and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little tough. I always have a tough time with the intros and stuff, like introducing myself, and it's usually pretty cool because, like, when you have a crowd that people don't know you, and Dave gives an intro like, oh yeah, he's a smart and talented guy, but the guys, like right now, I mean, I work with like half the room here and you all know it's bullshit. So it's like, it's like Dave, just out of default, you just gave a completely total bullshit intro. So congratulations on that, I made a liar out of you. In the meantime, I do...
You don't need the help.
Yeah. In the meantime, I do want to say, hey, we're supporting autism, so pitcher, if you got a few extra dollars, support that. Also, I want to say hello to the land of cats and porn on the internet, people watching. Hello, how you going? And it's really cool. I think it's funny that we have really high tech in the most divey place we've ever been in. So that's kind of cool. It's like, you know, I'm pretty sure that the computer costs more than the rafters here. But, we do have a pool going on who's going to get mugged here. I'm going to go with John because he's dressed nice, he has money, and he's white. So, there we go.
Fuck you.
Duly noted. So, also I want to thank everybody for coming out on a Monday. Now I gotta ask a question: is like, how does everybody usually feel about Mondays? Yeah. The answer is usually, and it kind of goes into my one thing is like, I am officially starting a petition to rename Monday. I would like to rename Monday to Clusterfuck.
Yeah!
And here's why. I think it will have a deep impact and social relevance because think about it. All right, let's start simple. Garfield. I love lasagna. I hate clusterfucks. Office Space. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the clusterfucks. And if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you can say, cluster-nut fuck night football is happening, and my clusterfuck team just clusterfucked it on clusterfuck. So it makes sense. So Just a mild petition, gonna have that out. Okay, so operating off of that clusterfuck, I'm gonna go into a poem. So apparently Aaron here is an enabler, and there's a certain site called allpoetry.com, and he just fucking strong-armed me to take this fucking contest. It was like he just took me hostage on post one day. He's like, here's a site. Here, join it. Here, join this freaking contest. And it works that we're coming into Halloween. The only problem about this contest is like, these guys know because they work with me, but like sometimes when I'm working stuff out in my head, I talk to myself. So I'm like pacing around posts and I talk to myself. Some of these guys have seen it. And the other thing that's a little weird about that, I know it's not weird talking to myself, but when I was actually coming up with this poem, it was like Vincent Price was talking right into my ear. I heard Vincent Price's voice coming through to me and manifesting this poem. So which means I'm either like channeling Vincent Price or I have a tumor somewhere in there. So, but this is what the tumor produced, so I hope you'll like it. It's called The Jack-o'-lantern Smile. I ride the wind as a house. I am the chill that runs down your spine. I bide my time with salivating jowls, for after dark I take what's mine. I had scoured the rows of corn and stalked the city streets, breathing in all the scents, listening to all those heartbeats. I had come upon a simple home in the silent hours of the night. I was going to let myself in, but I was stopped by the jack-o'-lantern's light. That candlelit smile from the days of old, flickering, mocking me as I stand in the cold. That visage knows the laws I am bound, that beyond his door no victims will be found. Though tender morsels sleep inside, I moved on as the night hours waned. I turned my attention to the manor down the lane. There lived the miser, counting his gold. No jack-o'-lantern on his doorstep, no guardian of old. He wouldn't dare adorn his house with such gaudy things. He was a man of status, which you could tell by his engraved rings. I slipped through the crack in the window as he prepared for slumber with a yawn. Just as his eyes closed, I whispered in his ear, "You will never see the dawn." Ripe with fear, he leaped from his bed. I love it when they flee with a sense of dread. Out through his bedroom door and down through the hall, he'd gasp in fear every time I let out my hunting call. Through the rooms of the manor, he found I would not yield. In his terror, he fled his home and he ran into the field. I like to give them a silent moment when their breath is no longer a gasp, a fleeting moment of sanctuary before they enter my grasp. Just a dream, he sighed as he shivered in the cold. When he turned around, I then took my hold, ripping, tearing with my dagger claws, chewing, biting, mashing with my jaws. I left them there in the old field's rose, to simply rot away or to be a feast of crows. Now I am an ancient creature, terrible and vile. The only thing that keeps me at bay is the jack-o'-lantern smile. So like half the crew is entertained, the other one's like completely fucking freaked out. So, and
guns.
yeah, no kidding. That's what worries me. They give me one too, so I hope you all feel safe. Oh, and just so you know, like this like whole entire ragtag of crew right here that's like throwing out comments just to make you all feel safe. We work at a nuclear power plant, so. So. Shit, this next part actually for me is really, really hard because some of you are very familiar with this and this is going to be a first time for you. I would like to preface this as that I don't have a drinking problem. I have a dreaming problem. Okay? And this has been affectionately come to be known as the melatonin and tequila dreams file. As these guys know, because we used to work over.
I was drinking. I understand that problem.
Okay. I don't like to call it drinking. I like to call it a coping mechanism. As these guys know, we used to work a really, really shitty schedule at work, and in order to get to drink, I tried everything. I tried sleep aids until one fateful night, I decided to try melatonin, and then I downed it with tequila, and the result was a little bit, well, I had some rather unusual dreams. And then I started telling people these dreams, and then people wanted to hear these dreams. So I'm going to share this one with you tonight. This one is called Spontaneous Hobos. So the dream is starting off is that I'm going hunting with a group of guys. Like, I don't even know this fucking group of guys. It's just like random people I'm bow hunting. And the thing is that I'm hunting in the city. All right? So I'm hunting along and we're deer hunting, and I see a deer and I draw back my bow and I let it go, and I, hear the and it hits something, all right? So we're all like, all right, yeah, hey, we got one. So we go over there, and when we go there, the deer's like standing there, like on his hind legs, just standing there looking down. And when I look down, I in fact did not shoot a deer, I shot a hobo. So the hobo is like, there, he's got an arrow in him, and I'm like, holy shit, I just shot a person. I'm like, why we were hunting in the city, I don't know. Why there's deer in the city, I don't know. Welcome to my mind. So I'm like standing there with this group of guys, and I'm like, oh, holy crap, holy shit, I just shot a guy. And I feel the horror of like if you were to actually shoot somebody with an arrow. And I'm sitting there, and the deer says to me, oh, fuck, dude. That sucks for him, but that's great for me. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, yeah, well, since you shot him and you meant to shoot me, I get like a pass for the rest of the year. I'm good. I don't have to worry about anybody hunting me anymore. I'm like, fuck, that sucks. And the dudes I'm like with are like, dude, you gotta do something about this hobo. Yeah, just like, and the dude's like, dude, you just like finish it off. I'm like, I can't do this. This is an actual human being. Look at, he's like bleeding, he's writhing, he's like, holy crap, I can't just shoot and kill a person. And the deer's like, no, man, no, you don't get it, man. These are spontaneous hobos. They just fucking appear everywhere. Like, planes have been down because they've been flying, and they just appear in the fucking like turbines and shit, and down a whole fucking plane. They're a goddamn nuisance. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you're a deer. I was gonna make you into jerky, It's just like, it doesn't make any fucking sense, And then the hunters are like, yeah, you just finish them off, dude, man. I'm like, I can't do this. This is wrong. They're like, no, dude, hey. And they're like, and one hunter's like, hey, man, you ever seen Rambo 2? I'm like, yeah, I've seen Rambo 2. He's like, dude, I got the arrow that will just finish him off. Look, exploding tip. We'll just go like 3 blocks back, and you just launch it, and problem solved. And I'm like, no. So like, I'm really conflicted about this. So in my dream, I call Aaron. And I call him up. I'm like, Aaron, dude, man, I got a total moral fucking dilemma. What do I do? I mean, like, should I kill this hobo? I mean, I know it's a spontaneous hobo, and I guess they're like a problem around here. They're like fucking raccoons. But what do I do? I mean, do I just fucking off him and then like mount his head on my wall? What do I do? And then Aaron's like, no, dude, man, you're like at a soul, you're a poet, and this thing's a life, and all life is precious. You gotta do this shit. Just because for some odd reason, I think that's shit Aaron would say. And I was just like, oh, okay. I look at these guys, and I was like, I gotta save this hobo. And they're like, oh, you fucking pussy. And I was like, okay. So then I call like 911. I'm like, yeah, I got a hobo here. So like the police show up, and then like the EMTs and all that kind of stuff. And then Joe Riss shows up as AKA the chief again. That's from a previous dream. You fuckers have no idea what that is, but people have been around know that Joe had actually made up in the dream, and instead of Joe Riss, he was Joe Risk, aka as a chief. So he's there as the police chief, and he's like, holy shit, what do we got here? We need snipers on that building right here. What do we got? I go, we got a hobo down. And he's like, really? Why don't you just fucking off him? And I was just like, because he's alive, he's supposed to be like, all right, fuck it, well, whatever, I'm not fucking responsible, so here you go. So they grab the hobo, they stick him in the ambulance, and then they go to a coffee shop. They don't take him to the hospital. They go to the coffee shop. They put the screens in the coffee shop, and like the surgeons are like going up like and they're like making their own lattes too. They're like, when they go in and operate on this guy, they're like I'm gonna get in a half tap for the twist. We're gonna be here all fucking night. So anyway, they come out and they go, oh yeah, by the way, your hobo's gonna be fine, he's gonna make it, and you need to do something with him. By the way, he'll be out in a couple minutes. I'm like, oh wow, hey, wow, these guys are good. You know, must have been Miles Lattes or something like that. So they open the screen, the hobo comes out and he's like, oh, okay, hey man, so what do you need me to do? Excuse me? Well, I'm your hobo now. I don't follow. How are you my hobo? Well, you killed me, you saved my life, so now you own me. And I was thinking to myself in my dream, like, you just can't fucking own a hobo. Even if you shot him, you just can't own him. That just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just, no. I was like, no, dude, I can't just own you. He's like, well, those are the rules, all right? It's either that or, you know, you gotta mount my head on the wall or something. I'm like, I'm not mounting your fucking head on the wall. Okay, look, here, all right, look, just go live your life, do something, and, you know, make something of yourself. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll go do that. I'm like, all right, then that's what you do, all right? And he's like, okay, and he left. So then I walk out of the coffee store, and I turn around the corner, and then there's a hobo, and he's in a suit. And I'm like, didn't I just see? He's like, yeah, I did what you said. He goes, I went, got into school, and I was like, graduated first in my class, and went to college, and then I went to law school, and now I'm a lawyer. I go, oh, wow, cool. He goes, yeah, hey, man, I just wanted to thank you for saving my life, and now I'm here to sue you. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, you were responsible and reckless with an arrow, so now I am suing you for shooting me with the arrow and causing me, you know, just considerable amount of pain. I'm like, what the hell? So I call Aaron again. And I'm like, Aaron, that hobo I saved. He's like, yeah. I go, dude, he's a lawyer and he's fucking suing me. And Aaron's like, oh, fuck that shit. Shoot that dude. So I pull out my arrow and I fucking shoot him. And he's dead. And so then like the police show up and then Joe, the chief, you know, aka the chief comes up and he goes, oh my God, what we got here? I go, well, this is the hobo. And he goes, okay. And I go, and he became a lawyer and he sued me, so I frickin' shot him again. And now he's dead. And he's like, hold on, did you say he's a lawyer? And I go, yeah. He goes, well, lawyers are nuisance animals, so here's 20 bucks and a high five. And then I woke up. So the disturbing thing about this, and these guys know, is that we have supplementary officers work there, and one of her name is Jenny Hemmington. And she's actually kind of a sweet girl, and I told her this story, all right? So the other day, she tells me, oh, by the way, my 6-year-old daughter actually just loved that story. I told it to her as a bedtime story. And I go, excuse me? She goes, yes, my 6-year-old daughter just thought it was great. She thought it was the cutest thing. She was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I gotta say, you're a shitty parent, you know? So I was like, she goes, well, she heard me telling this story, you know, you told it to me, I was kind of over here with my son, and, you know, it was the only way, like, she was acting up, and this is the only way to settle down. So I just want to put out there that her daughter's 6, so usually in about 12 more years or, you know, whatnot, when she's about 20, and we hear about a rash of murders with hobos with arrows in them and lawyers with arrows in them, I just want to preface it that it's not because my mind in a dream state comes up with this fucked up shit, it's because Jenny Hemmington is a shitty parent. So that's it.
I would, for the record, like to point something out. Years and years ago, over a long period of time, I spent tens of thousands of dollars on drugs. And I feel cheated every time he does one of those stories, because no matter what strange, whacked out, tripped out state I found myself in, it never got anywhere near what a Barry Dunn story was like. So,
He's the tip of the iceberg. You don't even know.
oh, I'm sure. I would dig a little deeper, but quite frankly, I'm terrified. So yeah. Hey, could somebody hold up the picture? Wait, we got some money in that. Cool. So,
Hey, speaking of
yeah.
the picture and such, I was thinking, do we want to do what we were doing a couple of months ago, where if we raise at least $50 tonight, we get an encore set from a samurai of the crowd's choice?
I'm good with that. Is the audience good with that? $50, if we hit $50 this evening, somebody can do the counting right now, don't let me do it. I'd be like 1, 2, shit, 1, and that just wouldn't work out. But we hit $50, we will basically announce all the members of the Samurai, everybody gets to applaud. I have a sneaking suspicion that it'll most likely be Sean, Aaron, or Barry, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, just a thought. Where was I? Oh, right, Aaron. Aaron's around here somewhere, isn't he? Yeah, there he is. I would tell the story of who it is that Aaron asked advice for on a poem, but I'll let him do that, assuming he works up the guts to it. You were the one that you were talking about outside?
I'll open with it.
Yeah, well, I enjoy
Conversation.
I enjoy torturing the poets in the room.
You're a dick.
This is not new news, man, I'm telling you. Look, if you're going to be a producer, you definitely got to have that in you somewhere.
You have to have dick in you?
Yeah, pretty much. Or on you. In that case,
Aaron's your guy!
how many? I was going to say, how many films have you done? I mean, Yeah.
Still in contract.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all in turnaround. So many business inside jokes. I should probably get around to introducing Aaron now. Once again, Barry Dunn introduced us to this gentleman. He walked up and we immediately said, wow, that's really good. You should come up and do this again. And he did. And got up on stage at the Slowdown and pretty much knocked us all dead. So after that, we were like, okay, congratulations, you're in the group. He's like, you have a group? Shut up, get over here. And it worked out particularly well. So ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage Mr. Aaron DeMombran.
Hello. Hi. So, Barry and I were talking outside about openings, and the biggest one is I'm in corrections, right? And when you mix corrections with poetry, you're like, what? You gotta be gay. And that's how it is at work. Everything's like, exactly. Yeah, and and that's how it is at work. We're always giving each other a hard time because we're family. Sometimes. Keith, shut up, you're stalling. But outside, I was talking with Dave because I actually wrote a poem. It's a little bit more sensual and somewhat erotic from what somebody commented on. And so I was talking with Lindsay about this. I'm like, hey, how am I supposed to sound sexy? And she just starts laughing at me. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, because when I hear myself talk, I'm like, it's not a sexy voice. It's like raspy and you're gay. So, but I was outside talking with Dave about that. And I was like, hey, what can I do to make this like really pop off? He's like, I have no idea. Just be you. And I'm like, that's not helping me at all. So with that, we're going to go into some different poems that I wrote. Also, everybody, thank you for coming out. We are doing charity for autism here in Nebraska, so we definitely appreciate everybody that's pitching in and donating. It's going to a really good cause, and we love doing this for these groups. And to everybody that's online that's watching from the UK to Australia, Colorado, Alaska, everywhere here in the US, thanks for watching and tuning in. This first one's called I Promise. You found me, discarded among the wrappers, partially twisted with half-sucked cough drops and the stale smell of menthol when you finally returned from mending wounds. I painted you in my bathtub with fingers that traced outlines of constellations, transfixed in darkness, gently placing in freezer, trying to make you and time stand still, as they did describe in the movies. Like loves of my past, you evaporated when I opened the door, leaving me hollowed, like pockmarked skin on clear nights in fall, becoming the moon. Steal my breath, like the kiss hidden in my pocket. I promise to let you be as you always wanted. So this next piece is a little bit more angry. It's actually directed at something, I'm not gonna say what it is, but a lot of people at work know what I went through this last year. It's been kind of a nightmare. And this one's called Mariana Trench. So I hope you enjoy this. I wanna beat you like my box of cigarettes until the excess is packed tightly around my mind and you simply fall away. I wanna snap your spine, taste the frost as it permeates my lips, soaking through like fall, crystallizing my lungs. I am addicted. I want to slowly breathe you in, holding tightly, allowing senses to flee, only to cough you up like phlegm, so that I may feel nothing all over again. You irritate me, to the point I have nothing more to say, so dissect my mind until finally you understand what it means to long and be made whole. Empathy evades and darkness clouds you. The Mariana Trench snuffs all light from those that dwell within its depths. Your cherry ends in my last drag, with no regret as I flick you away. This one's called You and I. I write to peel off flesh, and I find myself exposed, dangling from a cracked cocoon. It is my tether when you fall away, and you always do. Just as the drunk promises to never drink, but always does. I watch reruns of your yesterday's dreams bathed in uncanny notions, watching you secretly make wishes on the quarters of children and all those other innocents ransacking small ounces of hope, then scoff at their unawareness. I smile. I watched as you pretended to understand Le Sacre du Prétemps by Stravinsky and what it took to create feelings with music, to transform words into beautiful poetry. I wonder if I told you I hung the moon and jump rope through the equator of your mind, would you see beauty in my chaos? Or simply the shattered remnants of Picasso eating his own paint? I write of you as if made of flesh and bone, a person. Perhaps you are. And like anyone, you crave good conversations and inviting touches, like Samantha, the cocktail waitress, or a stranger perched at the bar, waiting behind hidden glances. No. Instead, it's better to say you. Because to write of them is too personal. Like asking a whore where to find God. Instead of finding salvation, you end up paying for sex. And like all merchandise in life, there are no refunds. You're just fucked. This one's called It's Just Mediocre. I don't bother hiding who I am. It's like waiting for test results coming back for cancer. It just takes too long. To create, manifest, adopt ideology of new ideas that we pretend are original. To be more interesting, then betrayed with bloodshot eyes sharing false truths escaping from Red Bull yawns flying through smoke rings of my cigarette. People enjoy mediocre, like poetry written of ponies and puppies. With twisted love turning dog shit into fluorescent roses, sure they're pretty, despite still reeking of shit. But I tire of this. Mundane monotony. I'd rather give myself and pin emotions brighter than birthing supernovas, softer than silk kisses and eyelashes on porcelain skin, deeper, darker than shadows folding into shadows in the recesses of your mind. But you'd like mediocre, thinking it's expected of you, like fabricated mandates, all babies are adorable, simply isn't real. Some are ugly. It's true. Like we do in nightmares, only mine ends in death, and exes rejoice with bloody knives and hands, making paper maches. Sometimes I don't feel like writing. I'm simply not mediocre enough. Some babies are very ugly.
At least he's not a baby hate racist. Some Blands it, so.
That's true. Well, Blanzit is a little bit of a racist, so he hates everybody.
Baby hate. Some babies are ugly as shit.
I was an ugly baby. I weighed 10 pounds, man. I was like a little fucking Oompa Loompa. All right, so the next one is called Raven of Silent October Mist. Silently in mist, rain drops. Swollen ceruleans of pitter-patter. I've doubts she notices her own demise. Sorrowful whip cracks bones, splintering toothpicks against steel highways of October's midnight. Statued, while sands levitate, unmoved within death's hourglass. This sullen captor holds her bleeding heart of tainted love digressed, while wings of darkness fold the crux in screaming minds. Silently in mist, blood drops, staining satin gown with pitter-patter. What?
Fuck yeah.
Excuse me. All right, so this next one is Eternity's Dream. We fell in love. Clouds of white wetness sparkling brighter than the universe's birthing supernovas. We created silhouettes transfixed on shower curtains, finger-painted our hearts on steamed mirrors after melting lovers of old. Together we laid on mistletoes under half-mooned wonders. I tasted your winter snowdrop flower while you painted your name on my back with fingernail screams. Your torso twitched as feathered fingers gently caressed naked ridges, kissed by an Aurelian sun. Your ink soaks my dry quill and whispers as angels yearn to be the words tucked inside our gentle falling snow.
Hell yeah.
That's the game plan. All right, so this next one's called "The Voiceless, the Shackles." This is a beatnik / slam style poem that has gotten some pretty good reviews, so I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy it as well. "The Voiceless, the Shackles." I got nothing. Wake me up when it's over, brother. Avicii's the singer, but no one are winners here. It's reality, and so is life with all the brutality, and who we are won't matter, because in the end it shatters into justice not being fair. No one shares what their freedom is anymore. Politics or money, that's what pays. I can't stand here asking for facts. Truth isn't a pack derived of ideals and whether or not they like you. And I mean, really, like you? Turns out Sally Field wasn't acting. It was just modernity drenched in expensive wine that time ages, with socialistic ideas. So don't you think this America is new? No, it wheels and deals with the rest of us. I'm tainted. So are you. Bitter. Sour from rotted fruit. We need to speak our thoughts. We, the philosophers. We, the free thinkers. We, the dreamers. We, the writers. We, the damned. And I am seeking the truth. I want to grasp it like a malnourished child, sickly, frail, but precious. Even if it's pale in comparison to the fatted calf we're preparing to sacrifice, spreading the plague. Don't you know it's the rage now to inflict who will listen, willing them to implant one seed of truth? This world is condemned by politicians who grope and rape the common folk for fun. They're the whores looking to score a quick buck, and like a fast fuck, they want us to sell ourselves short. And I'm here to report their blood-stained hands are gripped tightly around the throats of every man, and the Constitution that centuries have tried to uphold. Now, I'm not sure what it is we're even fighting for. Do you? In God we trust. That was our start. In God we trust. That was our principle. In God we trust, printed on our currency. But did we print it on our hearts? This shit drives me insane. It's so insane to see his image everywhere. Lit cigarettes on neon billboards telling you to buy him the way you buy a paper plane. And when it refuses to fly, build another. And wouldn't you rather have something solid to believe in? Illusions of happiness, the false idolatry of capitalists, abide with him. Should you follow, by him? Or is it a whim to find wealth at the risk of one's spiritual health? Money corrupts, but the buck just might stop here if we don't fear finding our visions, our paths, our lost hope, and all those with lost lives. The nation is crumbling. We've already begun falling, blaming others before ourselves. It's your fault I refuse to listen. It's your fault I walked away. It's your fault I'm dependent. Now do something for me. Find me a way. But those screams, I hear those dreams I've seen all fall silently on deaf ears, because the voiceless isn't free and chains manifest themselves into shackled hands and souls who roll with the visionaries. But I am me. It's not my way. I am me, and today I'm doing the shouting. Speak up and find out that today has got to find faith from the commercialism of the great American decay. Thanks, guys.
Great, I gotta follow that. Okay. First of all, did anybody actually count up the picture by any chance? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I blew that one
I
up.
think there's 106.
Yeah, 'cause they were going for 100 even, and I got asked for $1 to make it that, and then I just started throwing money at us.
I am reasonably certain that when it comes to charitable donations, we will always take more over less, dude. It's all good.
He's a generous one.
It's appreciated. I'm having kind of a surreal day, so work with me. I basically kind of was thinking to myself, okay, I've got material set up in my mind. Okay, well, I'll sort it out a little bit later on. I will organize it and everything will be cool. And then I realized I had to get together with my good friend Steve Gray, and we shot some video and such. And of course, when I'm in the process of doing anything creative, any other creative project gets set on the back burner. And then I was like, well, I'll work on the material a little bit later. And then I was like, well, I can edit this video. And so I started working on that. So this is gonna be, for me, a little disjointed, and anybody who knows the samurai right about now is going, oh, for fuck's sake. Because mine tends to ramble here, there, and everywhere as it is. So work with me on this. My name is Dave Nesbitt. I kind of do spoken word, which effectively is kind of like comedy searching for the punchline. So it'll be heavy, it'll be interesting, hopefully it'll be funny somewhere in there. Hopefully I'll keep you entertained. If not, just throw the plastic cups, the bottles and such. They really don't want to clean that shit up afterward. I have to begin this and preface it with something, and that is, I need to talk about my mom. I don't insult my mom. There's a good reason for that, because there's a whole bunch of really, really hard people at the table who do security, carry weapons, and this and that, and she would kill all of you.
Especially
oh yeah. She is a... she's a lady that came from rural Canada. She is an Irish Catholic woman. She came from a very hardworking family. One of the toughest people I know, and the best way to quantify that toughness is not her service in the military. It is not her serving in ERs over the years. It is not her working in hospitals as a trauma nurse and as an OBGYN and all of those things. Here's how tough my mom really is, and it's a genuine quantifier for her. She was dealing with my father, who was in the terminal stages of multiple sclerosis, while at the same time having non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the way that I always viewed this little battle of hers was, she said, oh wait, I've got a tumor? Let me have a word with it. All right, one of us has got to go. It will not be me. And if you stay here much longer, this shit is gonna get ugly. And the tumor said, hey, gotta bail, bye. Really, she is that kind of a tough, genuine person, which explains why it is that sometimes I have odd relationship issues, because I'm sitting there going, okay, we're gonna do this, oh, you disagree? Okay, you win. It's just one of those moments. But my mom, as a result of her upbringing, because she's Irish and